Yo, what is up, folks? MTG here, looking at Solar Flare in Pioneer, or MTG Arena Explorer, if you will. We've got the Explorer Metagame Challenge. The format name's still a little bit up in the air. We're not sure if we're leaving it as Explorer, or well, Wizards aren't sure if they're leaving it as Explorer, or changing it to Pioneer or MTG Arena Pioneer. There's some slight differences. There are a couple more cards I like printed onto Arena for sure, but the format's nearly there. So close. Anyway, Solar Flare here is an Esper Reanimator deck, and I've popularized initially back in old Ravnica, back in like 2000, 2005, reanimating like Angel of Despair, but then it came back to fruition in around original Innistrad with the printing of Unburial Rites, bringing back things like Elesh Norn, Grave Titan. There's some other really cool things you could do that I still have scary nightmares about. However, in this situation, we've just had Rite of the Moth printed. You can actually play this deck in standard, I should say, as well, but we're using it in Pioneer here with some additional tools, some bit of removal and interaction. But Rite of the Moth is our Unburial Rites. 4 mana to cast, 1 white black. Return that creature card from a graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. A finality counter means if it dies, like, it gets exiled instead of being able to like reanimate it again, but it's still pretty cool. And then flashback for 3 white black. So a little worse than Unburial Rites in that it's like more expensive to flashback. That's one advantage, but it is cheaper to cast on the front side, which is like kind of nice. So we have this Reanimation spell, and we also have Zombify here. There are some other options. I decided to go with Zombify here. Some personal preference stuff. There's some like more niche things you can use that have like different like versatility options. But Zombify here has our like Reanimation spells 5 through 7, 3 in a black, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, just simple as a sorcery. These are Reanimation spells, so we then need to put cards on our graveyard, and of course we need things to bring back. Things to bring back, we've got 3 copies of Valgamoth, the big moth demon, massive lifelink flyer, protects itself very well, obviously gets cards from your opponent. We then also have 3 copies of Atraxa, 3 green, white, blue, black, 7/7, Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, lifelink. Gets you a bunch of cards straight away, but doesn't protect itself as well. And then we also have 1 copy of Titan Industry. I kind of wanted to play, we're playing 7 Reanimation spells. You can play 7 targets. You can tweak these numbers around a bit. 6 and 6 might actually be correct. But Titan Industry has a little bit more versatility to it, and it also gets to immediately impact the battlefield like you get the Enter the Battlefield ability, whereas the other 2, in theory, you can just get wrapped away with no value. 7 mana, but obviously we're cheating it. Reach, Trample, that blocks very well. When it enters, you get to choose 2. So you can destroy artifact or enchantment, gain 5 life, make a 4/4, or put a shield counter on it. And so it's like almost certain, it's guaranteed to do something against the battlefield, basically. Versus aggro decks, you're going to get the life, even if they can't just like untap and burn you out. It can block, you can pop important artifacts and enchantments. Obviously that shield counter on it, or making an additional blocker with a Rhino can be super helpful. I just wanted a 7th target, and I thought this would be the best option. There are some more, and obviously deck's got like a bunch of different flex slots. You can flex these around a little bit. The rest of the deck, or the next important thing, is putting them into the graveyard. To that end, we have Philology Archaeologist, kind of a multi-format all-star. So he's played in Standard, Pioneer, and Modern, which is really cool. 1 in a blue for an 0/3. When it enters, mill 3 cards, but then you get to put a non-creature, non-land card from among them into your hand. Ideally, we get to mill a target for Reanimation, and then also add a Reanimation spell to our hand. It's not always going to work like that, but hey. And it's an 0/3 that blocks on the ground, kind of slows down the aggro decks in the format, which is kind of nice. Blocking is a little bit of a myth, but you'll just like put this under something and hope it maybe like blocks some damage. Yeah, monstrous rate says high, but you know, it is what it is. If it dies, it dies. And sometimes it's a 1/4 and you mill a bunch of stuff, and sometimes it's a 1/4 and you mill a bunch of stuff that you don't want in the graveyard. But hey, still good, still good. Taken Indulgence, blue black, draw 2 cards and discard a card unless there are 5 and 1 mana values among cards in your graveyard. You need to be a little careful with that. You might end up wanting to discard a card and not being able to, so just be a little careful. But general way to be like, okay, cool, I'm going to use like 1 of these on turn 2, turn 3 I'll do some interacting, and then turn 4 I'll try and bring something back. Is pretty nice. Outside of this, we have a couple of other ways to discard cards. Bit of Triumph is a nice piece of interaction, destroy target creature or planeswalker for 2 mana, but as a additional cost to cast, you either discard a card or pay 3 life. Obviously, ideally, we discard a Reanimation target into our graveyard to cast this. And then lastly, second to lastly, we have 3 Steps Ahead, which like normally, and now let's face it, is like a counter spell, right? It's a counter spell with some extra value, but also has that draw 2 cards and discard a card mode, which this deck uses pretty well in a pinch. Pretty cool. And worst to worst, you can always Thoughtseize yourself. Just playing 2 copies of Thoughtseize here. Could lean towards more of these. I've been playing a lot of Best of 1, and so I'm like slightly like trying to tune to be a little better versus aggro decks. But yeah, 2 copies of Thoughtseize, obviously versus Control, or other combo stuff. Obviously with Lotus Field now very present in the format, is something you have to worry about a little bit more. And then interaction. So I talked about the bit of triumphs. We've got the thought seizers. We have the 3 steps ahead as our like primary like big counter spell, and I wanted like one hard counter spell that we could hit with a Traxxas potentially. Whereas I've got like a spell pace here for a little bit of interaction, either kind of like forcing through one of our reanimation spells, or just kind of slowing down our opponent's combo stuff. And then like 4 copies of Fatal Push versus aggro decks, supplement a bit of triumphs. And then we also have some normalize up here. Aside from having, I'm just going to make a big flying lifelinker that'll hopefully eat all your creatures. There are also some more options on the board. I should say as well, this is the Explore Metagame Challenge, or MTG Arena. Yeah, anyway. So it is best of 3. It also is single elimination, so this could be over very, very quickly, and this might just be one game, or one match, I should say. But hey. The mana base, we are, one thing to note is like, very much like splashing white. We need normalize, like, potentially on 2, and write them off, like, 1, so we are primarily blue-black. To that end, and this, there will be a link to the deck list in the description, so you don't need to like copy that word for word now. However, 2 Warrior Grave, 4 Darkslick Shores, 2 Clearwater Pathway, 1 Courtyard with 4 Seachrome Coasts, for I think a total of 9 Fastlands, 2 Hedgegate Pathway, 1 Hallowed Fountain, 1 Takanuma, 1 Swamp, and then I'm playing 1 each of Hive and Hall, with 1 Otawara. The Takanuma obviously is also nice to get to mill things, so you get to return an Archaeologist or something. It's kind of cute. And then like 1 Island and 1 Plains and 1 Swamp to find with like Field of the Dead or that kind of thing. I've been Field of the Dead too often recently. I'm like kind of a little wary, but all pretty solid. As I said, best of 3, so we do have a sideboard as well. 10 copies of Spell Pierce, a Cling to Dust, some graveyard interaction, 2 more copies of Thoughtseize versus either control decks or combo stuff, 2 copies of Get Lost, a bit of a catch-all, 1 Path of Peril, which is splitting space with 1 copy of Pest Control versus these aggro decks, 1 Veto, just some uncounterable interaction for our opponent if we're playing like against control decks, 1 Vanishing Verse, another kind of catch-all, but is also exiling removal, because it makes mono as well. Ashiok is nice, it mills us, which can put our like Reanimation tucks in the graveyard, but importantly, can exile opponent's graveyard or stop and search in the library, which can be nice for things like any of the, it's got some utility versus which affects the format, which is nice. 2 Wandering Emperors, which kind of like catch-all things. I wanted something to sideboard into from the sideboard versus control decks that didn't use our graveyard, 1. And then B, obviously you can also just use this as like an interaction piece and play more of like, board into more of like a Esper control deck. Alongside that, 1 copy of Sphinx of the Final Word, which gives you can cheat into play, but is also quite castable. Excuse me. But I would like this change, but it's just like very, very hard to like actually look at the 15th card in your sideboard on Arena. Or like impossible, but it's a versus control deck, so it's going to stop our opponent being able to counter stuff. I'm just going to, there we go. Flying, can't be countered, hexproof, instant sorcery spells you control can't be countered. You can cheat to try and cheat into play versus control decks, or potentially just cast it and then they can't interact with us in a meaningful way, at least to counter our spells. I thought I'd play it as a nice one of. But yeah, that's the sideboard. I'm going to hop into the actual Explore Metagame Challenge. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate it. I'm also currently streaming this over on my Twitch channel. So if you're on Twitch, check out the YouTube. Link of this, like, I'll put a link in the chat. And if you're on YouTube, please do check out the Twitch. Yeah, let's hop in. Like, we're playing like enough removal to like keep us even versus aggro, and then put a big lifelinker into the threat to just kind of push them out of the game. But also with enough interaction to like have game against something that likes the format. We'll see. This is a little too much nothing. We'll send that back. We're on the play. Normalize Archaeologist, Thoughtseize, Grand Unifier. I think I just keep this in bottom of Traxxas. We don't have a way to reshuffle our deck, but this doesn't really do much on our hand. And with 7 targets, the other nice thing about that is that we're not too worried about just kind of running out. I think blind I'm actually not going to cast this Thoughtseize, with the idea to either be able to hold up Normalize on turn 2, which we can't do if we play the Swamp, or just cast Archaeologist, and then have this to then like strip our opponent of interaction for our combo later. Ooh. In fact, now I regret bottoming the Traxxas. Okay, given our opponent will need to like spend resources to make that actually block, I am gonna play. Actually, I'll play the plane so we can cast this later. I should make the Archaeologist because this can just block for days, make them commit resources to stuff. No hits here. We'll take the Normalize, sure. Then we can kind of sit with this behind. I'd like to like Thoughtseize Normalize next turn, or hey, see what goes on. We need to be, yeah, we need to have poison counters for this to actually work. So at the minute we can just block this. This is a bit more tricky. Alright, we hit a reanimation spell, which is like nice, but we have no targets right now. So we can normalize, which is like reasonable, but we actually kind of want, this can't be blocked. This they have to spend resources letting this let through. Just give it Toxic 2, which makes it more of a clock. Hard to say with our current hand. Maybe one of the thoughts is in case they have like another really important spell. And we're taking like a couple of points here. I guess we just block this maybe. I would like to see, make sure we're not just going to randomly die. Okay, so they're playing like, I guess I take the Casper one. What does this do? At the beginning of your combat on your turn, next time target creature would deal combat damage to one of the players. Prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, create that many colorless might tokens. Oh, it's target creature. Okay, sure. Oh, I'm going to take this because I can cast it straight away. Jungle, Hollow, Shadowy Backstreet. Sure. It may be better that actually, this was a mistake. We should absolutely have taken this and just counted this on the way down. No, they drew one. We've outdone ourselves. We correctly predicted the top of the library. They say you can't thought these are the top of your library, but actually, here we are. I should attack with everything. Yeah, I guess we block one of the ones that doesn't kill us. They go with poison. We're in a pretty tricky spot. This is a tap land. No, it's a 2-mana one that's like when it dies, do a thing. Alright, so they're not casting this turn. I was like, I'm not going to do this many phase in case they have the untap land. I would like to counter this. There's also battle cries to other creatures. But at the minute, those are just doing Toxic 1 unless they activate Skrelv. Another Crawling Chorus. I just have a choice here. Do we want to kill the Death Touch ones that we can block? Or do we want to kill Skrelv? Am I missing like the obvious choice here? We're definitely not killing the chorus. Skrelv is more of a problem later, right? I think so. Yeah. I'm just gonna pay. I don't really want to discard here. We're now gonna immediately draw into like a reanimation target. I don't know how this goes. We'll see. Now we have 3 poison counters as well. They can actually activate this. So this isn't living very much longer anyway. We drew a. Well, okay. That is one way. We like let this die and then reanimate it. I mean, that is like what we're gonna have to do probably. But this is just a tap ability as well. They don't need to activate anything else. This has to be a 1/1 creature, but that is everything. Assuming they're not going to activate on a Death Touch creature. I guess the thing... We're not trading anyway. Get them to use it on any of these. Black. We have like blue or white up. A little bit tricky. A little bit tricky. Yeah, so I'm going to block to get through here. We're at 5 poison. We drew extra reanimation spell. Not necessarily what we want. Excuse me. Oh, we didn't hit a target. We got the zombify. I will take it, but it's not getting us there. For sure. Okay, we have some good sideboard cards this matchup, I think. That's fine. It does look like we're going to lose game 1, but it's not totally over yet. I think if our opponent decided to actually use... Oh, they have 3 of these. It's not like it's once per turn, but they can pump 3 different creatures with a Seacore, which is pretty good. Pretty good, shall we say. I'll do this. If they just like make these ones this 6 damage, then we... Okay, they're gonna block and trade again. Kind of leave us a way back in. This one is double strike. Now we're at 7 poison, 6 life. We're gonna die to one of these things. We have 1, 4, 2, 1, 0. No, 0, 1, 2, 4. We have 4 types. I mean, we cast it. Oh, yeah, and a finality count on it. Who knows? We need to draw fate. We need to draw like fatal push and a bonus card. Sure. I'll play this. Do we have the 6th land in play? I've not worked out how I'm not dying here. We've got 2 more sequels to add to it. Oh, let's not waste any time here. Let's just go to game 2. So like I said, this is best of 3 single elimination. I do want these Get Lost. I maybe want these Wandering Emperors. I definitely want the Path of Peril. Definitely want the Pest Control. Definitely want the Vanishing Burst. That doesn't work against Skrelv. These are fine. Pretty cutting. Cutting gets like random value. I don't like cutting targets all the spells here. The Thoughtseize are not very good because they're just playing creatures pretty much. The 3 steps are also very slow. The Spell Pierce is also not my favorite. As far as interaction goes, like these are all kind of fine. I don't have anything else like want to. We go like down as Zombify. We're 62 on the play. So yes, the Wandering Emperors are very questionable, but I think or at least give us another angle to attack with. This doesn't exile Skrelv, but does catch the others, right? Yeah. We go like down a Zombify, down. The Traxer. I disagree with this. Down. I'm still gonna leave the Titan in there because it can like immediately come in and 2 for 1 a couple of things or make a couple of blockers, which might be super important. All right, let's see. We'll play. Okay, this is the problem with decks like 5. I swear this deck is super sweet. Like really, it is. I promise. What is thinking about Mulliganing? No. Obviously disappeared. Mulligan's 5. Oh, this is we can't complain that much. For a 5, it's a pretty cool 5. We need these 3, which means we're putting multiple lands. We need to keep Does it keep this and hope we draw into lands? Yeah. It's like a solid 5. The attracts it unmulligans us if we can get to enough mana. They have a 1-drop. Okay, they have Skrelv. Alright. Oh, the Tainted Indulgence is also a great draw. I would love to be able to counter this. We can't. I'll just... Now... I'm gonna fire this off. Did hit a land. Need 1 more land. Need 1 more land, but it can't be a fast land. There are 9 more fast. No, 7 more fast lands in the deck. 9 total. So 4, 4, 1. 40 yard. Double Skrelv Scythe. Oh no. I'm just trying to buy time here. Let's get our Traxxas back. Let's try and unmulligan us. So... Oh... We don't have an answer to the... Yeah. There's an extra creature. I'll take the pest control for the sake of this. The Ottawara and no more lies. Sure. Alright, they're more colorless lands though, which is the upside for us. They one time only get to use the colors. Normally the Mirax flood would be really good. Oh, well, not really good, but like not too bad. But in this case, it's not great for them. We'll crash in for 7. Do you want to play the Ottawara? So if we play... I think legitimately, yes. And then we can go... Archaeologist here. We'll grab this. There's no need to like run this out. We can wait till we get snag a couple more tokens with it. This is also burning their life. These are currently presenting lethal. This is 1 or less, so it doesn't pick up any of our stuff. Or unfortunately the scrap sides, but that's fine. I think we might have nabbed this one. I should have pre-made a Reanimator thumbnail so that I could chuck that up with the live request. This is annoying, but we can kill it. Alright, yeah, we still got the Novalize here. Okay, game 3. Alright, we won on them all to 5. We saw the Skrell's Hives. We have, for those, the Get Losts, the Vanishing Verse as well, which I feel okay with. I don't think we need to like try and like spell pierce anything. The Thoughtseize are kind of interesting in this matchup, but I don't really want to change how we've boarded it at all. I think I'm just going to keep this as is. Okay. This looks like pretty reasonable. We got a couple of pieces of interaction. One like Tainted Indulgence to like kind of find stuff to do. Well, to discard to bring back. And we got lands. Lands and spells is good. I'm not going to mess around here. This thing hands out poison counters like no business. I'm going to do it now so they can't stack us up. We're still going to take one for the pleasure of killing it, but in no way do we want to let them give us more by letting them untap with it. Right, they do have the Hell Hive, but we can get rid of this. I don't want to give them any tokens. Again, kind of. I think we just 1 for 1 here. If this starts cooking, like even if they give them like 1 token, they can immediately start exploring onto it, which is bad for us. Alright, if they have another creature here to play, they're playing all of them pretty much. I wouldn't call myself an infected aficionado anymore. Mostly because you can't be. I've been refreshing Goldfish every day to see if there are any good results with Infect now that Green to Zenith is unbanned. Let me tell you, it's been a disappointing time. I'm not gonna lie. I missequenced a bit playing the Tangerate Pathway. That was a mistake. We had like a bunch of fast lands. I think we kind of have to let this go. We don't, but we want to try and take Indulgence here. We're getting like actually pretty poorly punished for. I think because we don't have an untap land, I think countering one of these is good. Taking 1 poison counter, we're gonna go up to. We're gonna take 2 more here. They've gone to combat rather than explore. Yeah, it's only one actual poison. But they're gonna keep the Drowning Icon there. Alright. Trying to take an Indulgence into good stuff here. Letting this go. You can find like a Fatal Push potentially. You should cast this before damage at least. And we can't cast and push here. I'm gonna do this. Bonus copy Zombify is not doing anything else right now. We might just get ran down here. 14 and 4 points of impact. No more lies. I'm gonna main phase this. We drawn into more reanimation spells and not enough reanimation targets. I'll discard the right just because we can. Flash that back. But we are, yeah. This might be a losing game. I mean, it is. You're gonna lose here. Yeah, this is tough. Like we did board one target out with the hope to maybe see like a. It's Calvin anyway, isn't it? Yeah. Wandering Emperor, we're at 7 poison. Yeah, this doesn't get it done. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we still go to 10. That's GG, squad. That's GG. Oh, we are not doing it, I'm afraid. Overall, I think this deck is super sweet. You've got like a lot of like pretty cool interaction. You have like a lot of like choices to make as well. How you build a deck, you can have different targets. There are different pieces of interaction that you can kind of like switch between. I think the deck's very flexible in that way, and so you can tune it however to like your preferred playstyle. We got a little unfortunate here, I think. It's like 2 games we just didn't see any targets. Though it can be said you could play more kind of card filtering towards that extent. We're playing like Archaeologist, Alien Indulgence, like the steps ahead here. You could go much harder, going try playing like Considers and even like more like other style effects. I put a video up recently with like Soulflare combo, and you use like the 2 mana 1/3 that like enters and when it enters and dies, you draw a card, discard a card. That can be kind of helpful, but if we don't see any of our targets, we don't see any of our targets, unfortunately. And yeah, I did board one out to make room for Wandering Emperors. I thought they might have some ways to exile our graveyard, but actually, looking at how they built their deck, they're really leaning heavily onto all the Phyrexia, like Phyrexian lands, and so just like casting colored spells is pretty tough for them. Okay, not to worry about. Sideboard choices as well. Like this is kind of actually like a bit last minute. I wanted like one alternate sideboard threat that like didn't get hosed by like the graveyard hate, and so Wandering Emperors I went for because it's got a bit more flexibility. There are definitely like lots of different options here as well though. So hey, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like, subscribe, share it around to people who watch it. I do still think the list is very sweet, even if it didn't perform super well here. And again, there's loads of ways you can customize it and do whatever. Yeah, all that algorithm stuff helps a lot. Thanks for watching. Peace soup.